Good day everyone. For today's video, I'm going to present to you the project that needs to be submitted in our subject CS-201. Our project called the Dino Run Adventure. But before that, I'm going to show you first the contents of my PowerPoint. Next slide. So in this slide, as you can see, the contents or the topics that I will be discussed later on. The first is the introduction. Next is the data gathering, followed by the analysis, and lastly the implementation. Let's proceed to the introduction. Our group embarked on the exciting journey of enhancing the Chrome Dinosaur No Internet game, aiming to bring a fresh and entertaining experience to users through a cartoonish visual overhaul and the incorporation of dynamic power-ups. The process involved a combination of thorough data gathering and strategic analysis to ensure a seamless integration of new features into the existing game framework. So in this introduction, my group discussed on what kind of Java game we should create, and then we decided to create and upgrade the Chrome's offline game. We brainstormed and came up with the idea of making it more fun by adding cartoonish visual style and then the power-ups. We carefully planned about what kind of new features or power-ups we should add into the games to make it more exciting. So that's all for the introduction. Next slide, please. So the data gathering. Here in the data gathering, I have three components, or we have three components. The user feedback, gameplay analytics, and then the market research. Firstly is the user feedback. We initiated the project by collecting valuable insights through asking friends and social media platforms. We gathered feedback on what they enjoyed about the game and potential areas for improvement. So in this user feedback, this basically is we gathered we collected info about the game, what we should improve more in the game, or what kind of difficulties they face in the game. So we have information about what we should make or applies the to the game to make it more uh, advanced or upgrade. Next is the gameplay analytics. The gameplay analytics. We closely examine player interaction with the original Go game. This includes studying patterns or studying the game patterns, the game levels, and the areas where users face challenges or difficulties. These data inform our decisions on where to introduce modifications for an optimized player experience. So basically, this is where we analyze how the game works. As you can see, this is stated that we include the studying of the patterns of the game levels, and then the challenges that players faces. And then lastly, for the data gathering is the market research. To ensure our modifications align with the current game trends, we conducted market research on similar games. This helped us identify elements which resonated with players and could be adapted to enhance and modified versions gameplay. So just like the two components earlier, the user feedback and the gameplay analytics, is just the same. We just compare the game or the Chrome's game into other games that uh, the similarities, so we could get an idea on how we will modify the game or make it more advanced or modified. Next slide. Then the analysis. Here in the analysis, we also have three components: the visual design, and then the game dynamics, and then the technical feasibility. Firstly, the visual design. We conceptualized a cartoonish visual style that not only added a playful element, but also catered to a broader audience, including young players. So we all know that the visual design affects, I mean the game or the game we play affects us to its visual design. So as a gamer or as a player, we put ourselves in the shoes of the players, making the design more engaging, so the players will be like engaged to play the game more. Next is the game dynamics. Incorporating power-ups into the game was a decision based on both user feedback and gameplay analytics. By identifying specific points in the game where players often face challenges, we introduce power-ups and enhance engagement to provide a sense of achievement. So yeah, this is the main point of the project we made, is putting up the power-ups, making the game dynamics like from a boring game we conducted adding power-ups to make it more different from the past style of the game. Next is the technical feasibility. We assess the technical feasibility of our modifications. This involves evaluating the compatibility of the finished visual elements in the existing game engine and ensuring smooth integration of our features. So after applying the visual design and the game dynamics, we check if those two is compatible with the game itself. So that's what the technical feasibility says all about. And then lastly, the analysis, and lastly, the implementation. Next slide, please. So the implementation have two components, the design prototyping and the user testing. So for the design prototyping, before implementing changes, I created the design prototypes or game sprites to visualize how cartoonish the style and the power-ups will be. So this iterative process allowed us to fine-tune the elements for maximum impact. So before we implement the codes or making the game itself, modified game version itself, we first make a design for each components or each elements in the game. Like we have an editor for the design to make the sprites of the game. Then lastly is the user testing. Throughout the development phase, we conducted user testing sessions to gather real-time feedback on the modified game. This iterative testing approach enabled us to make adjustments based on user preferences and fix any bugs and technical errors. So it's just like a normal debugging for the game itself, like when you code a game or program or make a program, we usually debug to check out if there's more error or technical errors that we can face after publishing the game. So I think that's all. So we can move on to the game itself so we can show you how the game works.
So we are already looking at finding out our subject, Dino Adventure. As you can see already here, as what I discussed earlier in the past, and all this is right? And then later on, as the gameplay starts, you'll see that how different the game or the cloud cover. In this game, you will see the power-ups. There's three power-ups. The first power-up is slows the game, removes the objectives or the hindrance that the dinosaur face. And then the last power-up is core boost. Core boost will reduce your stress after sense faster than the normal. So, enjoy the game. That's all. Thank you for watching.